Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd BS, a spooky episode of Nerd BS. There is a ghost in this cast, but we don't know where it is. So if you find it, let us know in our Discord or on Twitch, and we'll get right back to you. But we are live on Twitch. I'm Alan, and we got Kyle and Chris here. They're all dressed up. I'm not because I'm the cool kid. But how you guys doing?
He says cool. I think I think you meant lame. You spell cool. Yeah, that's that weird language you use sometimes. No.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But no. Yeah, you gotta it's spooky season. It's the one time you get to throw it on, and I mean, I spent a lot of money for this. I've ordered like 3 years in a row. I'm getting my money's worth, I swear.
Hey, yeah. Those are solid outfits. I see there's a lot. Not those specific ones. I don't think I've seen like the Mega Man. I've seen like Sully and Disney characters, but I haven't seen Gengar.
This is just a sweater, though. This is don't let
It's
him
a sweater. It's not even a onesie.
No, mine's the full on. Like I got the spikes on. Look, like I got a.
Oh, that is cool.
I got a freaking tail. Look at this thing. I got a tail.
That is
Flopping
something.
tail. Like I am full on, head to toe, one eye.
How do you?
Purple people eater, man.
By the way,
don't worry about where I got it.
Don't
worry about where I got it.
He's got connects. He's got connects.
Average height man.
No, they're definitely capris. Look.
Oh,
A lot of ankle. Oh, they capris, my guy. There's a lot of ankle there.
Ready for those floods, yeah. So it's funny. I found a Boba Fett costume like a couple years ago that does the same thing, but at the bottom it has the boots that's supposed to go over your shoe. But because I'm stupid tall, like the boot is like 5 inches above my shoe. It's just like hovering.
Oh man,
it just looks ridiculous. But everyone thought I was just gaining weight over the past few years just for fun because I was lazy. I was actually getting ready for the Boba Fett costume. I wanted it to be just like the Boba Fett show where he had a big old belly, even though he was
big old belly.
And he did, dude. You can't deny it.
He was bigger, but I don't think he was that big. He was just older. He was just older.
When it's bigger than your chest. Yeah, no, it's fine. I like the actor, and I think he did a pretty good job. But there's no denying there's a lot of scenes where it's like, why didn't you just put a stunt double in there? So, anyways, I was doing it for the costume. I didn't just get this beer belly for fun. So
it was
all part of the plan.
It was for a role.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Play it well.
So, and now I have to wear that Boba Fett costume every year to
make up for it. I mean, it's Disney, so it can't be cheap. I'm assuming.
I could do the Fat Thor one or whatever, Bro Thor.
Hey, there you go.
Oh yeah, you can. Put the belly out.
That one year.
Yeah. You gotta plan ahead. You gotta let it grow out a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you are drinking mead, so you're half there.
Yeah,
half there.
Exactly.
Need? All right.
Yes. No, it's warm in here. I'm gonna tell you, this onesie it's spicy.
At least it's cold right now. I mean, it's like 25 degrees here. I opened this door just to get a little cool air, and I have to close it pretty quick.
Yeah, but these lights, this high production value over here, man. We got lights, we got high production. Like I'm getting cooked.
Look at that.
Yeah, this face don't look this pretty without these lights. So it's
true.
hot. I'm sweating.
Oh yeah,
sweat. I'm not lying to you. I don't know how long I'm gonna be staying there. I might have to cut out for a second, like and change out of this bad boy.
Yeah, you don't got to keep it on the whole time. I think you did your job.
I don't know. It's that kind of cast, Kyle. I don't know if we're gonna be stripping here.
Well, we'll keep it waist up.
Depends how far you get in your mead.
That's true. That is true.
It's like Zoom calls in the past, like business all the way here. That's it. I'm business here up, baby.
That's all you get.
Don't ask me to walk away and pick something up because it ain't happening. Yeah. I'm locked in.
Yeah, the camera's going off if you need me to go get that report. Sorry. It's just how it is.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That's funny.
So I forgot to say this is episode 321, and we're the 29th of October, which is 2 days before Halloween. So obviously we've got a little game at the end. So if you stick around to the end, we'll play with that. And if you're in our Twitch, you can join us at that game, and we can see who figures out the proper ratings. But I think we're gonna start with a bit of Call of Duty because I think that came out. When did that come out, Chris? You're big into COD.
He played it.
Yeah, I played it.
Well, dude, Modern Warfare 6, right? Or is this Black Ops?
Oh,
6?
Black Ops 6. Oh, this man just
yeah, I went the wrong way. Sorry.
It's all the same, right? It's one Call of Duty, two Call of Duty.
I mean,
it's about as bad as Madden now, right? Just throw another year on it, and we're fine.
Yeah, college football's back. Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares. I want to say, what's today? Last week,
29th.
Thursday? Something like
Thursday.
that. It came out late last week.
Oh no, it's Tuesday.
Not a week
Today's
ago,
Tuesday. Yeah, it came out about a week ago.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. The Omni movement, it's crazy when you think about gaming and what it's become and like what movement is. The fact that they're the first game that allows you to sprint in all directions seamlessly. You're like, haven't you been able to, right? You're like, haven't I been able to do that in like games like Apex and stuff? It's like, no, like it was never.
Oh, really?
It was like you had to like run, and if you wanted to go left, it was like there was that brief hitch and then run. But no, in Omni movement, it's literally like it's fluid. The fluidity in movement is. It's really weird to think that that's a new thing.
Yeah.
And everything that we've done, you're like, that's new? Okay.
We are in the era of like those kind of updates to games are like, it's a big deal, right? Like you're saying, like that's, but at the same time, it's not noticeable enough to where, you know, it's not like when we went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation and it was like, okay, this is radically different. Everything's kind of like quote unquote 3D. Now it's like, well, it was smooth. Now it's like a little bit smoother, but it's a pretty in reality, it's a big difference. So
yeah,
it's
small
kind of a weird time.
increments. Yeah, the small increments, the small changes. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way this is the first game to ever do seamless sprinting in every direction. Like, and we have games that have like crazy movement. We have games like Mirror's Edge and games like is it like Dead by Daylight? No, not Dead by Daylight. What's the one where you're like doing parkour and with the zombies and what game is that?
Zombies?
Dying Light.
Dying Light. Yeah, right. Like you have that crazy movement in games like that, and games like Assassin's Creed always had pretty seamless like movement when you're clambering and things like that. And so to think of sprinting in every direction seamlessly, that's new. Like no one's done that. Really? No one's perfected it to the point to where it's that realistic, right? Because ideally, if you're running, I should be able to just start running to my left. I should be able to lean to my right. I shouldn't have to go like run. Let me stop for a second and then turn. It's like, no, I should be able to like lean left, right, back. I should be able to back pedal as quickly as I like. So the game allows you to do those things, and I'm telling you, those lobbies, dudes are flying. Guys are.
That's what I was thinking. It's like that'd be so fast now.
Like they're running. You guys, because when you and part of that too is that you can dive. So like you can dive and do like Max Payne, like slow motion type stuff. You can just like dive in, like jumping sideways, and you can do like Neo Matrix. You can back dive and you can shoot. It's really, and then also when you're on the ground, you can do like the full. Not like you just go prone, but like you can prone, you can supine, you can sit up, you can like on the ground, you can literally like roll around, like you're just like it's really weird. It's weird to think that those are new movements, but they did their best to mimic like the human bodies. Like if you're in a combat zone, you could literally dive, and then instead of having to stand up, turn around, like if I'm on my belly, I should be able to just to roll over on my belly and look back. I don't have to face forward, and you're allowed to do that in the game, and it creates really weird situations because camping is weird now because you're not like I'm stuck facing the wall. Like when people go prone, they would be facing the wall, right? You can't do anything. You have to stand up and turn around. It's like, no, I can face the wall and just roll over on my belly, and then I'm facing the other direction. So yeah, it's really right. You say and you're like, that's normal human movement, but it was never put into a game to this caliber.
Like,
so I'm like,
I guess I just assumed it was in the game already. I haven't played Call of Duty since like 3 or maybe, so it's been quite a while. But
so
yeah,
it's it's really cool in that aspect, but
right.
I didn't think it was that innovative.
Okay. Is it fun?
I didn't think. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
The only part that sucks is that multiplayer lobbies aren't really a thing. People get bored of that. That spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die. Like people, like you don't like. That's very for the casual gamer. That gets very, very daunting because you get people that just play the crap out of the game and they just rip you. Like you're dying before you even take a step. Like nobody wants part of that.
So what mode is popular then? Sorry.
There's no battle royale yet. I think they're gonna implement that with the like Warzone, but they have zombies.
Oh yeah.
It's still polished turd. Everyone loves Call of Duty for the first 2 weeks, and then everyone goes back to what they're doing because the lobbies start getting super sweaty, and the people that grind it out, it's like there's guys that are shooting me before I even spawn. Like I'm literally spawning and I'm already dead. That's the reason what happened to Halo. Remember that when Halo came back out, everybody was super excited, and then all the sweaty started playing. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm good. Guys are literally launching nades before I even spawn. Like I'm out.
I got out years ago, kind of like what Alan was saying, because I think I was like in Gears of War was what I was getting into, and I was like, dude, and I was like trying to grind it out, and I still was just getting mopped up. And so like I get it, like I'm not really interested in those games. Battle Royale's a little bit different, a little bit more fun in that aspect, but at the same time, like how do you fix that? How do you fix that kind of mode?
I mean, not to like pull back to Fortnite, but I mean that's how I can get interested in that kind of stuff. It's just by traversing the area and just exploring. That's always fun with me and my son when we play those games. I don't know if the Battle Royale and Call of Duty is anywhere like that, but just like seeing the little areas in the game with his quest or things like that. I've always found that fun, but I'm probably in the minority on that one.
Back to Fortnite.
It always comes back.
I mean, they got a good formula. They got a good formula.
No, I'm not denying that. It's just I just never expected to say that, like to be in that world 10 years ago. Like, oh, it would just be Fortnite would be it.
Yeah. I think they put, and I hate saying this, you put some sort of rank system so that you find yourself in the lobby with people that have the same skill level and skill cap as you. No, I don't think they don't have multiplayer like ranked. Will they ever do it? Maybe. Did they do it before? Maybe. But I think that's the best way to do it. So if I'm a guy that plays every once in a while on the weekends and I'm only like a bronze, then I'm going to play other people that are bronze, not people that are grinding it out. Like I should not be in the lobby of diamond players when I'm like a bronze or silver player. So I think that helps keep the casuals around, but that kind of also forces them to play ranked, and that makes it more competitive and people want to be more casual. But I don't know how you do that with multiplayer anymore with the way BRs are, right? Like you said, Alan, like with Fortnite, you're able to just drop in and you can do all the different what's it called, missions and stuff and activities. You don't necessarily have to engage in the BR wholly in the battle royale aspect. You can go in and do a bunch of other stuff, and if you get killed by someone, it's like, okay, cool, drop back in, I'm gonna drop over here and do the missions that I need. Like, so it's a whole other experience within itself. So I don't know, I just don't think it's gonna be around long. Multiplayer type lobbies like that, it's just not how people want to play. People don't want to do it.
And you earlier before the cast, you mentioned that now it's free. Well, it's part of Game Pass.
Oh, absolutely. Right? Yep.
So
that's another thing.
It
makes it better. I mean, more appealing for those who have it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it also, like, I feel it's a nice perk, but it also diminishes the value, right? Like, no one's paying full price, so it's like, well, why would I hop back in if I'm not having a good time? When you pay full price, you're like, well, I paid $60-70, so now I gotta grind this out. But now that it's like, well, I just go to the next game that's on Game Pass because I suck.
Yeah.
This is I'm not talking from experience. I'm really good.
I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah, I guess people would be more inclined just to walk away from it because, I didn't pay for it. I'm not out $60, $80, or whatever it is. Like I'm getting my butt handed to me. I did the first prestige, and everyone that's prestige 2, 3, 4, 5 is like I can't even move. So I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Back to Apex. Back to Warzone. Like back to
my
Apex.
PlayStation.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm out of here.
How much is
I can
Game
see
Pass
that.
now? Is it 15 or 20 now?
I think it's the rights to your firstborn child.
Okay. Oh, that's easy.
That they're in that Amazon world now. They're like, we just want the rights to your firstborn, and we're fine.
Gosh.
Get all the games you want. We just got to get you. Just your firstborn is named after us. That's it. That's it. Indentured servitude to your firstborn child, and you can have whatever game you want, including Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. Oh yeah, worth it.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you should have just led with that. Yeah, no problem.
You're throwing in AAA games. You might have my secondborn too. No, again, it's fun for what it is. It'll be better with people. Going in by yourself will always be rough. They also have standard Call of Duty lobbies. You already know how it is. We grew up in those lobbies. Those lobbies that's a war zone. Before you even got into the game, the stuff people are saying. Well, yeah. Oh, it's back, brother. Ooh, it's back. All the skibbity toilets for your ears to enjoy. I turned that off right away. One lobby and I was like, I don't miss that. Nope. Don't miss that at all.
Oh, it didn't. Yeah. Could live without that part.
Where's your mother?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. All bad.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to give it a rating at this point, I'm sure there'll be some updates that might clean it up. Who knows?
Solid
What
6.
would you rate it? Solid 6. Okay, that's not a good sign because
Isn't this?
I mean, Microsoft paid a lot of money for that for that IP.
Isn't this the first Call of Duty that they've actually worked on for 2 years instead of 1 or something like that?
Yes.
Somebody was telling me about that. Somebody was telling me about that. It was a big. So it was kind of a big deal that they supposedly spent more time polishing this one.
It sounds like they put all their eggs into the movement basket.
The movement basket.
Yeah,
but it's noticeable. It has definitely changed the game. The game feels differently, holistically, and that's big when you have a game like Call of Duty where it doesn't really change. I
do want to try it based from what you're saying. Like, I honestly just want to try it. I don't want to get into it heavily, but it does like just that feeling and be like, I want to see what that's like because I don't know. I never felt it in a video game.
Free $99. Load
I got
up.
that series, the Series X. Just collecting dust.
But by the way, it's also like 100 gigs. So good luck.
Oh boy!
I
always forget about that with Call of Duty. It's a very large game.
But you can pick and choose what portions you want. So if you don't want to download the campaign, if you don't want to download like Warzone,
so you can just go directly into the multiplayer.
Yeah. If you just want to download Black Ops 6 multiplayer, you can.
Do you do the campaign? Have you done it?
I might. I saw that they did a lot of work with this one. Yeah, they did a lot of work with this one. And the last Black Ops story was really good because of what they're doing with that story. It's like the Cold War, the early 90s stuff, like stuff that's more relevant to the people that picked up Call of Duty. Like these are things that were loosely happening around the world, right? Saddam Hussein, all that stuff. Like all that stuff was loosely happening around you as we were growing up. That's when Call of Duty got big, right? In the late 90s, things like that. So you're able to play it at a historical level. So that's why I think that series is done so well because it puts you right where it's like, hey, I grew up in 95, 96, early 2000, and all this stuff was actually happening. And there was people out there doing these secret ops trying to figure out what was going on in the world. So it really brings you in that part. But part of what Alan was saying, they put 2 years into the game, but they did a lot into their story too. Like this high production value, the graphics are beautiful. Like their character design is very well done. Like they put their foot in it. They definitely put the time into it. They didn't just rinse and repeat. They really made a difference. But it's just still Call of Duty. So how long will it last?
Yeah, it's
still COD.
Another Madden. Another Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was a nice way to say that we are getting older.
Speak for yourself.
Get out of here, old guy.
Yeah.
I still wear onesies on Halloween. I'm still young.
Well, this might be an issue with PvP games, but I mean, Monster Hunter Wild is coming up soon. at the beginning of next year, right?
Yes.
And yeah, that's like a PvE multiplayer game.
Yes.
So that's a whole different type of experience. So maybe that'll draw you in, is what I'm understanding. Because we were talking about last time, and I'm even curious about it because it's supposed to be cross multiplayer and also one of the biggest or the biggest Monster Hunter game so far. So I'm really interested in it as well. Is there any updates going on right now, Chris?
Yes, the beta is out. It is out.
Crap!
If you want to pre-order, you can play the beta. It is there. It's available to you right now.
Is it on console or is it just PC?
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5 too? Okay.
PlayStation 5 got it earliest. And I think everyone else gets it later this week. Everyone else gets it.
Is the beta crossplay?
I think he confirmed.
Maybe.
I know the game's crossplay, but I don't know if the beta is going to be.
Oh, the beta.
Sometimes they don't.
I don't know.
I think the beta will be because, like I said, PlayStation gets it first. So they should already have it. PlayStation 5 does have the game. Later this week, it goes to everyone else, and I don't see why they wouldn't let it be open to everyone else because it allows people to test, right? You can do the do the first hunt and the tutorial. So you should be able to do that, and there's no reason for them not to want to test PC playing with PlayStation or with Xbox. So I can see that being a thing. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it. My goal with Monster Hunter is to stay away from it as much as I can because I want to be surprised by the game. I don't want to over-research it because it has so much coming to it. I don't want to over-research it. I want to be kind of like shocked. Like, oh my God, I didn't think they were going to do that. So I kind of pulled back on searching it up.
Looks like it's a PlayStation Plus exclusive. I think the beta may be free for this weekend.
Nice.
Which means that if anybody wants to try it, I mean, if it makes sense that there's you could do the first hunt or something, just to try to get people into it. Because they did something like that for Monster Hunter World too, because that's what got me interested in it. I remember trying that out. I got a bunch of people try it out with me at the time. So you may be able to access it now. And I don't know about now. I'd have to look into it further. But last time they had a bunch of a cosmetic bonuses if you did the beta and completed certain tasks. You were able to have some armor or something that you got, or maybe just earlier gear. I don't know, but so maybe it's a possibility. But
yeah, I didn't see anything with playing the game, but of course they have their different packages, right? Like you get the deluxe and then like the premium, deluxe, whatever, and they give you a bunch of extra stuff. I'm gonna go the middle ground. Pay I think it's like $89, $90,
$90,
whatever it is.
90 for $89.99. The Monster Hunter Wilds in the deluxe pack.
And then the one after that's the
premium deluxe.
Like
109 or 110.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's top dollar.
Yeah, it's pretty common with these games now to have 3 editions. You get and then usually, I don't see that on this one, but some of these games usually with the highest one or even the second highest or the highest, you get early access and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't think they're offering early access.
I don't see that.
Yeah. But I think with the topmost one, it's you get all the stuff in the middle, but you also get 2 cosmetic DLCs that come later on. There's one that says you get a cosmetic DLC from summer 2025 and spring of 2025. So it's you get this and 2 other things at a later date. It's oh, okay. So it's I don't know what those 2 cosmetic packs will be. Capcom does a pretty decent job. All their stuff is really well done, so I'm sure it'll be and such.
Except for this
like you said,
where's this guy lately? He's been MIA.
Mega Man. Nobody wants to play with Rockman.
He needs to come back. Mega Man Legends.
He does.
Fantastic. Mega Man Legends would be fantastic.
That's literally my favorite Mega Man game is Legends. I remember playing the crap out of that game.
Dude, when he took his helmet off, oh my God! It's what?
I loved it.
He took his helmet off. This is.
I didn't really. Yeah. Yeah, he did have
crazy.
Anime.
He did have anime hair. Yeah.
It's
they only have what? They got 20 different games going. They got all the fighting games. They got Resident Evils they're working on. They got time.
Well, how did 11 do? I wonder. Do you know Mega Man? How did your 11 do? And did great.
I liked it. It just
Okay.
it was like over like sales and all that. It was okay.
Pretty poor or okay?
It wasn't my favorite Mega Man either, personally, but
No.
you got some amiibos with it, which was cool.
They've already done collections, because I was even thinking like maybe they could do some more collections like they've been doing Castlevania, because those collections have been pretty.
They already did. They've
done that.
Like 3DS.
I know. I remember I had them on GameCube. I think I had the
Switch,
collection on GameCube.
Which has them.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many times?
Oh, that's right. They did.
Bust out the collection. Like, the Switch is still out. You can't. I mean,
well, you gotta get the Switch 2 edition when the Switch 2 comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Once that,
it adds some enhancements for the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that really matters with those games.
I don't know. It's so strange. I mean, I would be more down for a Mega Man RPG at this point in time.
I would think so. I mean,
one, but
that'd be so.
RPGs
cool.
are doing great. I mean,
yeah.
What does Capcom have for RPGs right now? They have Dogma, right? Dragon's Dogma. But that's kind of.
Is that out?
Is that?
I mean, second one, right? That's an RPG, right?
Yes.
It's out though.
Yeah, wasn't that within the last year or so?
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm
just trying to think of any other role-playing games that Capcom has been releasing besides that.
I mean, that they've been releasing. Yeah, they don't really.
Yeah.
They haven't. I mean, they did.
Haven't.
They've just been doing remasters and remakes. So they did Dead Rising.
Yeah, that's true.
All the Resident Evils.
Oh right, Dead Rising. I guess Dead Rising would be
Monster
the closest
Hunter's
thing.
a big one. And then they re-released all the fighting games again. Marvel vs. Capcom. They keep doing those collections. So.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
those are selling good.
What are they doing? They're dropping.
Like, hey, you remember this stuff? You want this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, what about Mega Man?
I mean,
no. You want this stuff? It's like, yeah, I guess I do.
I guess Breath of Fire was a thing, but that was pretty traditional RPG as well. That wasn't like, I don't think there's anything crazy about it. Breath of Fire was their RPG series, medieval RPG. Yeah, it's been dead for a while.
They also have Devil May Cry. But
I guess it would be like their Final Fantasy. Yeah, well, and that one's even more of an action, not really like an action RPG. I don't know if it's
obviously they focused on those Resident Evil remakes, which have been doing well. Like, we can't deny that. They're
great.
Knocking it out. But I would love to see something a little different. But if it's paying the bills, right? Like,
once the money stops coming in, then maybe they'll start reorganizing their plan. But for now, Monster Hunter and remakes. And I guess Dragon's Dogma.
Yep.
And then Monster Hunter Wild is going to sell like crazy. It is.
Yeah.
It's going to sell like freaking crazy.
I'm pretty sure World did wonderfully, right? That was like a revitalization of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think how well did Rise do? I'm not sure.
That's the Switch one.
Yeah.
Rise, the one for the Switch that eventually came over.
It did okay. I think Rise should have came before Worlds. I think Rise would have been good to bring like the new people in, because it's really, like I said, it's Monster Hunter Light. It brings everything down. They dumb everything down. High movement. We're in a game that's not necessarily supposed to have high movement for everybody. Like that's the skill cap. But you do Rise, and then you go into Worlds to kind of blend both. And like I said, Wilds is like the blending of all of that. It's gonna just be super user friendly. The fact that you can play with anyone and everyone now, like there's no longer any doors, right? Everyone can play with everyone. It's gonna be crazy. I hear that there's supposed to be like 100 people per lobby, 16 people per instant, and then like 4 people per hunt. So like you can kind of like go into your little.
Are they gonna expand that by any way? Like, I know they have 4 people per hunt, but could we get like 6 hunts or 10?
I would hope so. I can see that because there's elder dragons or like elder monsters, right? Like there's monsters that are like, like Godzilla, like 100 stories tall kind of thing. I can see like 16 people going after one and actually taking it down, right? Like, so that would be really, really cool, because you would need that many amount of people to do that amount of damage, right? Yeah. So I think that'd be really cool. I'm excited too.
I might check out the beta if it's available on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
They also,
Alan said it was what, the Plus.
That's what it looked like. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, for PlayStation Plus, which I know you have, Kyle. So yeah, I think you should have access to it.
I paid for the year. It was an automatic charge, like a sucker. But
oh man, we got you good.
It's worth it. I've been trying to play the games because we'll get into that in a minute. I do want to mention Monster Hunter Stories was another one that came out this year. Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Yeah.
So they've been marketing Monster Hunter, right?
Which I haven't played that one, but I always hear it compared to like Pokemon, and I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it. I've seen it played.
Oh.
But it got. I mean, they have 2 of them, so the first one was good enough for a sequel.
Yeah.
So
that one was scrapped on 3DS for a while. 3DS and mobile.
As long, maybe I could just get a Mega Man skin in the Monster Hunter.
They have one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one.
Well, okay, but I know in World you have it on your little Palico, your cat. Your cat can dress up like Mega Man. Hey, your little cat buddy. He's a little buster and everything. It's cool. A little cool guy.
I mean, it's cool, but why he needs to be the dog, and I need to be Mega Man.
You just want to play Mega Man in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I need an arm blaster as well. A unique weapon with special mechanics.
Yeah, just go like a bow gun. Yeah, just go like a bow gun or something like that. There's projectiles in the game. There you go. That'll work.
Awesome.
That'll work.
Well, why don't you go over this one, Kyle? You said you want to go over this article?
Sure. It's a fun little article. It's from what is it from? The Michigan Daily. The title is "Your Doctor Should Prescribe Video Games," and basically what they're saying is that for like people that have had strokes, their rehabilitation has greatly improved from like VR headsets. So them having like the phantom limb kind of syndrome or whatever, like actually helps them recover better using VR. And then maybe we can link the article in the show notes. But this whole article talks about how video games are actually helping people in many different ways, when for a long time people were saying that the violence would make people more violent, which there's no research that backs it up. There's the link for if you're watching live on Twitch. It popped up during my when I was looking for news cycles, and so there's not a lot of research saying that it makes people more violent. There's nothing to back that up, but there is some research saying that VR is helping people and other stuff. So go to your doctor right now and say, "Look, doc, this podcast, the best podcast I've ever heard, is telling me I need more video games. So I need prescriptions.
What can you do for
my
me?
Job, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And can my medical insurance pay for my next video game purchase?
Can you buy the PS5 Pro for me? Like, can you cover?
Do you think Kaiser will cover that? Is that covered in my medical bills?
You heard it here, and it's not just the mead talking.
Yeah. No, I think that's really, really cool. Someone was talking about like the phantom touch or the phantom senses, right? Like working through that and helping the brain. It's almost like tricking your brain to say like we still have our limbs, because in VR you have all your limbs, right? You have all of them. So I could see that how your brain, because of course in VR when you're flying around or stuff like that, your body thinks you're actually doing these things. Right. VR has become so aggressively good. So aggressively good. So it's like your brain is thinking like I still have my limbs. So your neurons are trying to fire to these synapses. Is like, hey, like we don't have fingertips, but we're learning how to use them again, because in the game I have to control them, and over time your brain is just naturally doing it. And I can see that where it could help rebuild those neural pathways, because like you said, VR has become super immersive to where it feels like I have these powers. I have the ability to fly. I have the use of my legs again. I have the use of my hands again. So I can see that that's actually really flipping cool.
It's interesting to me. I'd love to hear more about it. I'll have to check out this article more in depth, but I've always felt that the video games definitely give more good than they do bad. I mean, there are obviously people who overuse, but that's with everything.
Right.
But
yeah, with everything, right? Like,
yeah, you can't.
don't over.
You can't really do anything about that. But yeah, everything's good within moderation. Or most things are good within moderation. I guess we can say everything.
Sure.
But I don't know when this came out, Kyle. But Penguin, the Penguin, who plays the Penguin? Not Danny DeVito. Not Danny DeVito's Penguin.
No. Which
No,
is, I would have to argue, probably the better Penguin still. But it's funny you say that, because it's on episode 6 now, I believe. I'm not even caught up. But yeah, it's coming out. I think it comes out on Sunday. I'm through.
Oh, I thought it was done already. Okay.
No. It's.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's still going. Yeah. And so the Penguin show is what we're talking about on HBO or Max, as they want to be called. I don't know if I could do that, but it's funny you say who plays the Penguin, because I'll put the show on, and then my wife will come down, and she'll be on her phone because she's not really into that show. It's a little too violent. But I'll go, hey, let's watch this Colin Farrell show. And she always looks up like, oh, I want to see Colin Farrell. Like, who doesn't? And then it's the Penguin, and she's like, oh my gosh, I forget. Like, she's like, she even said, like, if this show doesn't win like an Emmy for makeup, like, then it's all just a sham, because she cannot believe that that's Colin Farrell in the makeup of the Penguin. And I think Alan's pulling up the trailer right now, and I
just threw it off in the back while you're talking about it.
And he does so good. And again, my wife and I were talking about this when he kind of came onto the scene as an actor. He played the typical like douchebag, kind of whatever guy. Like he was always a douchebag, but he's turned into such a good actor that we watched his other show that just came out called Sugar, and I hated the ending, but it was a good show overall. That one's on Apple TV. We talked about it before, but the ending was so lame. I won't spoil it, but the show overall was good.
Your shameless Apple TV plug.
Yeah, another one. If they had stuck the landing, I would be doing it more. But anyways, the Penguin's on Max, and it's good. I'm not going to say it's the greatest show ever, but right now, from everything I'm watching, this is the best show I'm watching right now. I'm enjoying it. I want to see the next one. I can't wait. He does really good. The other actors do pretty good in it. I have my qualms with it. So for right now, it's like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Highly recommend.
I mean, I loved the Batman film. I won't lie. So I've been interested. I actually completely forgot about it until you mentioned it today. So I'll definitely have to check it out for sure.
They marketed it for me, and they kind of pushed it down my throat, because I didn't like the Batman movie as much as you did.
I know.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little too long. Penguin was barely in it, and I was like, whatever. Like, makeup was good, but it was like he was like didn't even need to be in it. I think they just put him in there so they can make the show, and I'm glad they did, because I'm enjoying the show. But they marketed to the point where I was like, all right, fine, I'll check out the Penguin, because at least it's something, it's close to Batman. I know Batman's not in it, but I'm enjoying it. It's a crime drama. It's like, it's
Batman's rogue gallery is always like, most of them stand up on their own pretty well. So I wouldn't be surprised. Penguin makes sense for a mafia style drama. Yeah, so it makes sense.
It's definitely like that. Like, think Sopranos, but a little bit more comic booky.
Good. That's a good way to put it. I've seen one episode.
Oh yeah.
First episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, was it the first?
I mean,
nice.
Yeah.
The way you worded it is like, I saw the third one out of order.
No. I saw the first and probably half of the second. I don't know what was going on, why we didn't finish the movie or the show. But it was, like you said, it was good for what it was. Yes, it's the Penguin, right, and the Batman universe and all that good jazz. But when it comes to just a movie about the start of a mafia boss or a mafia crime lord in a city. Like it works very, very well in a very, very familiar universe, right? So I think that's where it has a lot of like staying power, because it gives you a different look, right? It gives you a different look, but it's a very, very believable story and storyline, because that's who the Penguin was. He was just some random dude that worked his way up, and before you know it, he was, top dog in Gotham. You're like, how the heck did this random stubby peg leg, not peg leg, but you know what I mean? Like
this guy,
like a limp
in the show.
Yeah, it's like what happened? Yeah, his leg is all. They went for it. Like, oh yeah, they went for it. I was like, whoa, hey there, put the dogs away. Them boys barking. Put them away.
They don't do it again too much, but it's like, woo.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see that, because like I said, you always get the Joker, you always get like Mr. Freeze, like you get those guys.
Yeah.
And Penguin was always like a B-list guy, but when it comes to the ecosystem of Gotham, like he was a very huge part of the crime scene. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like without him, there is no Joker. Without him, there is no like Riddler. Like he's the guy that was like, we're doing crime in Gotham. Like without him, there would be no Batman. Like, oh, we have to do, like, there's crime happening. There's someone that needs to stop the crime. And he started making it like the real deal. So forget that. Like he had a lot of play in why crime became like popularized in Gotham. Why it became an issue, like where someone had to become the Batman. Like something has to happen, because this person is just going and do whatever heck he wants. He has his hand on everybody, commissioners and police officers and politicians.
And it's anybody's pocket.
It is interesting, because he is technically the protagonist in it, even though he's a villain, and so
anti-hero, I guess.
And it's after the movie, so they kind of mention like the events that happened, like Batman flooding the the stadium or whatever. And like that kind of comes into play in the show, and so that's fine. You don't see Batman, which I kind of like, right? Like they just keep calling him like there's a crazy man that like did all this crazy stuff, and now the city isn't better for it. That's their claim. And every episode he gets into these situations where he's like, dude, like you just effed up this whole thing. You're about to get shot. And it's like for the first 4 or so episodes, maybe the 5th one, it's like, dude, how do you get out of this? And he just weasels his way out somehow and gets super lucky, and you don't know how it's going to happen. I'm trying not to give too many spoilers, but like and it's just like, that's kind of like the premises of the first few episodes. And then there's one with another character, and it's just like, dude, how is this guy going to come to power? And what I mentioned first was that he's a protagonist, but he's also a villain. So it's like at any moment he has no rules. So it's not like, well, when you're watching the heroes, like, well, he can't kill anybody, so he's never going to kill anyone. In this one, you're like, he might just kill everybody, like he might just shoot everybody right now. And so that's kind of fun to watch, in a certain way. Like, I don't know, he might, so I highly recommend it. I think it's the best show on right now.
Apparently we have a good Penguin and a bad Joker, so things are kind of balancing out, right?
No,
who would have guessed?
The world is healing.
The world is healing in its very interesting way, but not everything can be roses, right, Kyle? What has Sony done this time?
Sony. Let's go back. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. I almost started my rant. So Alan and I were getting into it a little bit, and I say getting into it, but it's an interesting topic, right? So my whole thing, I put this in our little discussion room on Discord, but Sony sucks at marketing, and and for the sake of time, Alan's kind of rebuttal was like, well, they don't need to market, basically what he said, like they're top dog right now as far as consoles go, and I agree with that. However, Nintendo can drop the Switch 2 at any moment, and that's all just it's all just history. But I think so. I say they suck at marketing because they had a recent game flop, and we talked about it before, Concord. And I put a link there for you guys to see that they shut that studio down, so it looks like it might not come back at all. Like, that was news today. Like,
they turned the lights off. They're like, everybody get out.
Yeah.
So much money.
I didn't know Sony had a repo. I didn't know Sony had a repo team. They repoed the whole business. Give it back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you know, and the reports are like that was like close to 8 years of production and several hundred million. And then they just shut the studio is no longer, you know, and hope maybe if they're lucky someone picks them up, who knows, maybe they find new jobs, which, you know, and that's the market side of things. But going back to Sony, I don't remember that game being promoted or advertised, you know, like a Penguin show or like Indiana Jones, for example. That's getting shoved down my throat, and I know that's coming to PlayStation, but that's an Xbox first, right? And Call of Duty, I know Call of Duty came out. However, Concord came out, and the only thing I heard about it was when it closed down, and when it, like, you know, the videos popped up with like, hey, this game shut down in a week or whatever it was. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. And then they started talking about how much money it cost and how many years it took. I'm like, okay, that's not just like we picked up this little indie. Yeah, that's not just we picked up this little indie studio. That was going to be a staple for them, it sounded like. So where's the marketing? And you know, and I've been hearing other people talk about there was marketing and there was supposed to be like weekly episodes, but like I never heard of any of that. And then, so you know, the meme is that shut down. They had Astrobot release that actually did well. People were like, yeah, and then they dropped the PS5 Pro and the price of it, and everyone's like, oh, who can afford that right now? Like, your timing is awful, right? Like, who can drop $800 right now, or what? It's 7 or 800. What is it for just the base?
Oh, just the base? I want
like
to say, I think it's. I have to look it up.
Is it $699 or $8? Either way,
no,
like
I think it's higher than that.
Yeah,
I think it was closer to 8.
Right,
or $7.99. It was 800 for sure.
Well, if you wanted the disc drive, it's at least 8. I remember that.
$699. But that does not come with the disc drive though. That is the full digital, and then you have to spend, I think, 70 something for the disc drive. And if you want the stand, it's another 30. So it ends up being 800. Yeah.
If you want a disc drive, right? And you know, Alan, you're kind of experiencing the Blu-ray is not working on your
Oh yeah.
drive.
Oh my god.
Like, which is a whole nother issue, but like, anyways, if you wanted to upgrade, it'd be too much money in this economy, really. Okay, so, and then they try to, you know, bring us back in with the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, there was
30th.
That was the 30th anniversary, but it looked pretty. But yeah.
Oh my god, beautiful.
That's a grand
Gorgeous.
right there. Yeah, beautiful. I agree, but a grand to get the bundle, and like, and so like the timing of it is terrible. It's not. There's other ways to reveal this stuff. There's other ways to market this stuff. And I remember a time when they had commercials with that guy. It was like his name was like Kevin or something for the PS3, and he was just he was just a funny dude that was like in the office, and he would do these commercials, and I was like, that's funny. I like that. And they had the whole thing going. And then after that, I think they like the PS4 came out and just took off, and it was great. And they're like, yeah, we're not going back. Yeah, Kevin Butler was his name. I'm looking it up right now. You just look up Kevin Butler ads, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, oh yeah, that guy was pretty funny. And my other example is that they suck at marketing. The Vita is a terrible failure, and we're not getting another Sony handheld probably ever. Yeah, we got the Portal, which is actually looks kind of cool, but it's not a handheld. It's a streaming device. So, and that was even poorly. I mean, it sold out, but I didn't like. There was no marketing for it. They're just going off getting on their high horse and going off. Anyways, that's my rant. They suck at marketing. I think it's going to bite them in the butt pretty soon. Alan doesn't think that Nintendo is a competitor for them, but as soon as the Switch 2 launches, you know what? You're never going to be able to find one. And the PS5 is
Switch 2 is going to do great.
It's
different. It's just different. That's the thing. PS5 is the casual gamer, but that wants to play really high quality games, but doesn't want to buy a PC. Whereas the Switch is just for gamers that are okay with having a lower quality, not quality.
Yeah, PS3 graphics, yeah.
Yeah, less graphics. They're not as graphically inclined. They don't care as much about that. But I feel like it kind of separates. There's people who really care about graphics, and there's people who don't really care about graphics. And the people in between will buy both. So that's just kind of what happens. That's just my personal opinion on that one. We'll see, though. I want the Switch 2 to do well. I think Switch 2 is going to be amazing, but it's going to be its own thing. It's not going to replace my PS5. It's going to just be a separate thing, just like my Switch is right now.
I know. We keep talking about this hypothetical Switch 2.
Yeah, I know. I know. I still don't know what it is yet. I think they put out some specs, but I haven't looked into it enough to even talk about it.
Nothing concrete, but yeah. Yeah, you got a point. Like, even with the PS5, you could technically argue, like, hey, it's also a media console. Like, I can still watch DVDs and movies.
Unless your Blu-ray DVD player doesn't work. Like some people's.
Which is one job.
Yeah. Well, it has two because it still plays games.
Games. It just doesn't play DVDs and Blu-rays. I don't know what's going on. And PlayStation offered me $250 to fix it or replace it with a refurbished. Or I called GameStop and they do the exact same thing for just swapping with a new one. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're kind of like, maybe I should get a PS5 Pro, but at that point, you might as well just buy a PC. Well,
it does feel that way. Yeah, I don't really want a PS. To be honest, I don't really want a Pro, and Sony is getting on my nerves recently. So, I mean, their app sucks. I mean, they did give me my $40 for the coins, but I had to go and talk to customer service about it. I couldn't just use the app because it just has a bug that just doesn't show it. And apparently, this is not a new bug. This is a bug that's been around for a while that a lot of people
were having it. I noticed.
So it's just...
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if you saw that convo in Discord, but you gain points in the PlayStation app. And I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know about it either until
I went in and I had like
Discord
$40 worth of points, so I just redeemed that, and that's money's all gone. But but Alan was also having a problem. Like, first of all, they didn't advertise it again. Like, why not like promote that? Like, hey, you can come get points. Like, Xbox shoved it down my throat to the point where I was playing freaking Jewel 2 for 3 months straight every day because I got 5 points every time I played that game just for opening the Xbox app. Wow. And PlayStation, I found out afterwards, and now I'm like, why am I even on the Xbox app? But because I can pay for like a couple months of Game Pass just through points at this point.
Right, through playing,
yeah, just through opening the app. So, but yeah, again, PlayStation didn't advertise that, and then it glitched out, so Alan couldn't even get. He was like, "Oh, I guess they took it off," and me and the
and I was watching, Kyle and Blue Shadow, Pick was doing it and be able to get it, and I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Why can't I access it?"
It's just you,
I was at least happy that it still existed because I did a new terms of service, and they were like talking about how they would expire coins and all sorts of stuff. So I was like, well, they just took this feature out then. This is like also a part of it. Mm-hmm. But apparently I was fortunately incorrect, but at the same time, the app was broken. So whatever. The whole thing. But
so I'll give them 1 point.
1 point.
It's a half a point. In Japan, with the PS5 anniversary console, they required you to have a registered PlayStation Network account, and you had to have 30 hours of playtime within the last decade to be able to.
They need to do that more often. I respect that type of thing because I like, especially stuff like that where it's like a special edition. It's like, offer it to the people who are actually using your console and in your ecosystem first.
They're the ones that want it.
They're the ones that are going to use it and probably not sell it. Less likely to just sell it.
Less likely, yeah.
Less likely, because I don't know what I would do if I was able to get a hold of one easily. I would think about it.
There's always a thing.
So you're saying there's a chance?
But that's the thing. You cut down on that, and
money's tight.
Yeah. But then the less people reselling it, the less you go on eBay and go, oh, well, none of them are selling, so why would I resell it, right? The more people reselling it, the more it boosts it up. And there's always the instance where you get it and then you like never open it, and a year later, like, I might as well just sell this because I'm not using it. But like that's a good thing that they did, but it wasn't advertised, and it was in Japan, and I found out like through a friend of a friend, and it was like, oh, cool, but
not accessible.
Why not advertise it?
Yeah. Either way, we're getting close to the tail end here, so I think we should switch to the duel of rates before we close out the show. So we're gonna couple these in before we end out the cast. So if anybody's in the chat, you're free to join in and just say something, and I will make sure to wait for your answers as you're listening. So we're gonna go through a couple horror movies, and the goal is I'm going to tell you the critic score, and all you have to do, and don't go look it up and cheat. I'm watching you guys. Just give me as close as you can to the audience score rating.
And what site are you using? The Tomatoes?
I am using Rotten Tomatoes. So if you want to use Rotten Tomatoes, don't look at it.
Don't look it up. We're not.
Don't look it up.
We can't look it up. And if you want to play along, just don't look it up.
Here are my hands. I know typey. No typey. Here are my hands.
What do I do?
At the end of the day, whatever. But all right. So we're gonna start with this one because I thought it was funny. This one came out not too long ago. You guys remember the Meg? This is not the Meg. This is the Meg 2. The Trent.
Jason Statham.
Come on.
Jason Statham.
I only know the lore for the first Meg.
Well, you're gonna have to start really thinking about it, because the critic score gave it an astounding 27%.
Astounding.
So that's a pretty
impressive
low score.
Thought it should be lower?
I don't know. I'm assuming it'd be higher, maybe. I didn't see it, but I liked the first one.
Dude, okay. You did see the first one.
I did enjoy the first one. It was fun. It was a fun film.
Okay.
All right.
It's fine and fun. All right. We're going to go with Chris first. To see what he thinks the Meg score will be.
Slurp it up.
He gets really so much saliva thinking about this.
Salivating. This is my favorite. I love this game, and I'm so bad at it, but I love it because I love being shocked by these. Okay.
Skill.
You said 20. You said 20. I know that's the best part. 27 divided by 2. And carry the 1.
What are you doing?
And then we're gonna go with people are not very smart, and Jason Statham's freaking amazing. So we're gonna go with a whopping 43%. 43.
All right. 43.
43.
Okay.
43. Yes,
right.
brother.
You had to go with the Meg 2. That's clever.
I know.
Girl.
Yeah.
This is Price is Right? Closest without going over.
Price is Right. Closest without
going over. Shoot, I just said 1%.
Correct.
1%. You mother.
No.
$1.
No, because I'm about to get it within 5 anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, people, you underrated the Statham power, and I'm pretty sure it got a 7. I'm gonna go 70, just a flat 70%.
Flat 70.
Yeah.
People love the Meg.
The first one is really good. I'm not sure about the second one, but I mean, you're definitely onto something, because it was 73%. You were pretty close. of audience members enjoyed The Meg 2, The Trench.
You got it. It's the Statham. The factor.
Yeah, the power of Statham.
Yeah, it's like the Rock. When
the Rock was in his peak.
Yeah, you could put him in anything.
Dude, I was watching all this stuff and I was like, man, this is garbage, but I love it.
All right, what's next? Because I just got.
All right, the next fun one. We got Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
I don't know if anybody watched this. This is actually a fun movie. I thought it was fun. It was kind of wacky. It's based off of a novel. Yeah, okay. Surprisingly. And Kyle will go first, but the critics score is 34%.
So it was higher than
they were
Meg.
not a fan.
But somehow liked it more than the Meg.
But yet liked it more than the Meg.
How can you go wrong? And vampires, like that's automatic 30%, just right there.
It's getting off the
Was this the Aaron Eckhart one? I can't remember. There was like almost a thing happening. I'm gonna go with.
You can't tell me there was more than one. Stop it.
No. It was like I swear there was another Abraham Lincoln movie that came out though. Not a sequel. Anyways, I'm gonna go with 55% because of how.
Benjamin Walker, Dominic Cooper.
Okay, it's a different one.
Yeah, it must be. Must be two Vampire Hunter Abraham Lincolns out there. What was your number again, Kyle?
55.
55. Yep. All right, Chris.
Underestimate old Abe.
32.
32.
I'm gonna say it's
lower.
No.
All right.
Stop it, Kyle.
That's wild. I'll hey.
Yeah.
Part of the rules.
30. Oh God.
Don't second guess yourself, man.
Yeah, 32. Final answer. Lock it in.
32.
Whatever.
Nice, staying with it. And Kyle, you almost got it, but went over. Chris, it was 50%. 50% of audience score.
Yes. Give me one. Woo.
All right.
It was fine.
I thought
my next guess was 48. My next was 48 anyway, so I wasn't going over anyway.
Oh, okay. You still would have.
Yeah. Next was definitely 48.
All right, we were talking about The Ring earlier. That movie terrified me. I remember lighting up. I was staying at my friend's house and I lit the whole house up afterwards because I couldn't sleep the next day or that night.
Yeah. The good thing is there's no more VHS tapes floating around.
That's good.
It doesn't hold up.
But unfortunately, The Ring 2 didn't do so hot, at least to the critic standards.
No, you doing sequels again?
We're doing sequels. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I put a couple sequels in here. Ring 2.
Because it's good.
21% is the critic score. 21. That's really low.
I mean, how do you follow that
Chris.
up? Because how do you follow that one up?
Yeah, the first one was so good. Like, why even?
Yeah, it did really well.
It's almost like they were just trying to ride. How many years later did it come out? Like a million? In horror movie terms?
It was a while, right?
Yeah, like in horror movie terms, it had to be like a million years later.
Yeah, about 2005. I'm not sure when the first one came out. I mean, it couldn't have been that much. I don't think it could have been that long, was it? I don't know. When did The Ring come out? When did the first
2001?
one?
Is it really that? Okay. I mean, a million years is.
The Ring came out in 2002, so that's 3 years.
Yeah, they turned it around pretty quick. All right, congrats to you guys. I mean, that's respectable. You said 21.
Yep.
Audience is usually higher. Audience is always. I don't think it's very rare that it's lower because audience is just weird.
It's not.
They're
always,
weirdos.
But
it's more times than not. They're weirdos. That's why there's professionals and non-professionals.
That's true.
Let's go with 40. No. Yes. Yeah, 42. 2000, 2005, 42. Double. We're going to double the critic score. We're going to double it. Double it and give it to the next guy.
Yeah.
Kyle, 21%, and Chris says 42. What are you going to go with?
I'm going to say this is one of those instances that that they went lower. I'm going to say 15%.
That's fair. Respect it. Oh
Well,
God.
Good cut on that one because it was 33%. The audiences weren't as much fans either.
Told you it's
Oh, that's
very
pretty-
rare
so
that they go.
It's
Yeah.
kind of close though. Sometimes they kind of sync up where it's like, yeah, we all get it. It all is just it's terrible.
Yep. Dog water. Gross.
All right. We're going to do another one. Try to do two more. I think we'll do two more.
Okay.
The Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Mm.
Sequel.
The
I'm just kidding.
classic, not the sequel. This is actually the classic this time.
Oh, that one is pretty good, actually.
40 or 86% critic score. 86.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Verified
I don't-
fresh. Kyle.
Yeah.
I think his first this time.
Yeah, I say it's all right, but it definitely got to me because I think we talked about this last week or the week before. I drove up to your place after watching it and not even think about it. Walk out and it's just pitch black woods. Like, well, get back in my car. I'm going home. I don't know why I drove up here at night.
I snuck
so it
watching
had
it
an
when I was young, and I remember it. I didn't think it had any effect on me. I
Mistake.
thought I was like, oh, that was
Mistake.
stupid. And then later that night, I was like starting to get a little scared because I was like, wait, what's going on here? I don't know what. That was actually got me. It got me.
So, but it did have some staying power. And Chris, you mentioned earlier, it's the audience is almost always higher, but that's tough when it's already
that
fresh.
Yeah.
Shoot. Because there's some people that probably hate it. I'm gonna go with 80. 80%.
80%.
The
Okay.
audience likes it
Yeah,
less.
you're kind of high.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
All
Playing
right,
the
Chris,
game.
86%.
for
He
keeps.
said 80.
I don't. Yeah, getting it into like the 90s is probably not gonna happen. And I'd be surprised if it did. But I do remember all of the work that they put into it. They did the whole. That was like when they first started doing like the secret camera in the in the movie theater
stuff.
Yeah, that's when they
Yeah.
started doing that. Like you see, that was like that early ages of that type of marketing because the movie was
There is
so.
a game.
So yeah, the
There's
movie
a
was so
game.
scary. It was like the whole like you're holding the camera, like it's trying to put you in the moment. So I think people really enjoyed it, like you said, like afterward, like watching it, you're like, what is happening? And then you start putting yourself in like situations like that. You're like, the next time I went hiking, I was like, look, I didn't think it bothered me as much, but now
Sun's
here
going
I
down,
am.
guys. Sun's
Like,
going down.
so I do believe it's high, but it has to be like no more than like 63.
Ooh, okay.
I'm lowballing
Fair
it,
enough.
hoping that you went over.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's a good guess.
Unfortunately, neither of you got it at a 57%.
Yeah, I was gonna-
2,500,000 ratings.
Wow.
Apparently. Yeah, 250,000. A lot of, I don't know if it got bombed or what, but a lot of people did not like it.
Like,
No.
like I said,
It probably doesn't hold up.
yeah, the experience itself, like I said, I'm saying afterward, like the movie itself
Yeah.
is terrible. It's like, what
Yeah.
am I watching?
it's
Like you said,
way too
Alan,
long.
it was like hard to watch. It was something they tried new, and that's probably what it was. They just tried something so new. You're like, ugh. Like this,
Yeah, and
I don't want to
remember-
watch this.
You got to remember when
Yeah,
it came
yeah.
out and the critics reviewed it.
moving. Oh, the camera's
It-
still.
A lot of people, yeah, I used to hear that a lot. A
believe-
lot of people with the motion sickness. That was a big deal.
But people believed
Uh,
it was real. That was a part of
Well,
the
they
hype.
they
right?
had like a whole campaign with a website and everything. Like
Yeah.
they were really
Mhm.
pushing it. Like there was a reason
Yeah.
people thought it was real. They were really pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you give it all the audience scores over the past 20 years or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't hold
yeah.
up.
Yeah, you lied to
Yeah.
us. It's not real.
Yeah.
Movie
and then
sucks.
You had all the paranormal activity ones, which are arguably more scary.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I haven't
Paranormal
seen any
Activity
of them, but
1?
I'm afraid to see
Holy
them.
crap.
Yeah.
I'm bad with
Watch 'em.
ghosts.
Dude,
Pretty good.
broski.
No thanks.
Paranormal
Yeah.
1 changes your life.
I real quick, I put on a movie. I agree with you, Chris. I put on a movie because Hulu, the Hulu app has like Huluween, and so they used to do all these
Mhm.
little short films, And there was one that started with a drawer opening in like a kid's room, and a clown like sits up, and my wife was like, "I'm out," and she walked out of the room like, "Yeah, I'm not." And it was kind of like that found footage stuff, and I was like, "Yeah." And even I was like, "Well, if she's leaving, I'm turning this off. I'm not gonna watch it by myself." Like,
I'm doing this alone.
I'm not afraid, but I'm no chump either. I'm not gonna.
Go spend time with my lady, and she don't want to watch.
That's what it is.
Oh man, yeah.
So,
all right.
Paranormal PA1, watch it. You'll love it.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to give it a shot. I'm not a huge.
Oh, you never seen it?
Ghost person. No, I'm not a huge ghost person, so I usually kind of stay away from the spiritual, the aspects. So, but I'm curious though. I'll have to check it out.
Like, you think it's corny, or it gets to you more?
It gets to me. The spiritual stuff gets to me, so I usually kind of back off.
Okay.
But I didn't even realize this was a horror movie until Kyle kept pushing it on me, and I know I need to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. But The Lighthouse, the black and white film with Willem Dafoe
and Batman.
Robert Pattinson, yeah. Batman. Critics loved it, 90%. But I don't know if you've seen it, Chris.
Rightfully so.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I've talked about it several times on the cast because
he has. Yes,
I do.
I keep meaning to watch it.
I do a couple spooky movies a year, one around Halloween, and I did The Lighthouse, and it stuck with me. It's not like your typical, it's not a slasher. It's not really a ghost one. It's really like psychological, which is kind of my bag. And but it sticks with you because you afterwards you're like, what the heck just happened? Like, what? I don't know. And I've talked to my sister about it, and she's like, yeah, that was a good one. That one, I don't know what happened, but it was good. Sorry, who's up?
It's Chris. I'm pretty sure.
Me up? Am I up? Yeah. Okay. Lighthouse. You said 90. I've never seen it.
Willem Dafoe. You got to remember Willem Dafoe.
And Robert Pattinson.
Black and white.
Two very good actors in a black and white film.
In the late 2000s.
Yeah, that came out. Yeah, in the late 2000s.
Yeah, within the last 5 years.
Real recently, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found a date on it right now.
2017.
It's set in 1890.
72.
72.
90 is high, man. It's not gonna be higher than 90. Come on now.
Yeah, no.
It is. It does look. I haven't seen it, but I get an artsy vibe from it.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah. It is kind of artsy fartsy. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. It's not going to be that high because it is like, it doesn't just give you the answers either. It's kind of vague, and I kind of walked out of it like, do I have to think about this? Like, why don't you just tell me what happened? and it's one of those movies where it's like, it's up to the viewer to kind of interpret it. So I'm going to go a little bit higher to play the game. I'm going to go with 80%.
Ooh.
I think it was good enough for the viewers to like it. 8 out of 10.
Well,
dirty dog.
Chris, right on the money with 72. Right on the money.
Smile. Look at that smile.
Points. 2 points for Gryffindor. 2 points for Gryffindor. You can't say that's 1 point. Come on. I got 1 point.
I think we've done 2 points in the past for it.
On the dot?
Yeah.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that because if you're on the money, you got to get something.
That's it. Yeah, I think we've done we've done 2 points for on the money before. So congratulations, Chris. You have won the Duel of Rates Halloween Spectacular, and that'll be ending our cast tonight. At the buzzer.
Well done.
We'll have to. Yeah. We'll see you again in another week. Now we're doing weekly, and we are streaming. So be coming in on Tuesday. We should be back on Twitch to do another cast. So if you catch this on a normal platform, come check us out. It's fun, and maybe we'll do a game or something.
We're 1-to-1 to Duel of Rates, right? We're 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do it again.
Let's go.
All right.
In your face.
I'll get
yeah, man. Woo! Bragging rights. We can't do another one for like a month. I need to hold on to the win.
It gotta
be at least a month.
Dude, yeah,
we'll do one around like Thanksgiving. You do like a
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, you're on. We'll do it for the holiday. Yeah, once a month.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yes,
All
right. Well, thanks for joining us. Later. And Nerd BS.
Nerd BS.
Nerd BS.
Oh, he wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention.
Yeah.
We almost
Chris
had
got
it. I completely forgot.